Well, those people that stuck around, they're really interesting.
There we go. They're still there.
It says you're live. You have 5 minutes to initiate. You have 5 minutes to initiate.
Let's do it. So, good.
Okay, so now it says
good morning, everybody. Can everybody? Well, good morning, everybody. I'm hoping everybody can hear us now. Can everybody hear? Maybe you could let us know in the chat. Yes.
Okay.
Guys, I really apologize. We did the entire presentation thinking you were there. And this is the first time we're using Webinar Jam. This is a new software that we've used. And we really felt that because all the numbers were up there, the names were up there. We felt you were there, but we did a dry run and we're gonna take this through again. So good morning. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for being here this morning. This is kind of an exciting morning for Southwest University of Naturopathic Medicine. I'm Dr. Nuzzo, Patrick Nuzzo. I'm the founder and president of Southwest University of Naturopathic Medicine. And I have Maria Varela with me here. And Maria is our admissions representative. And she can kind of answer some questions at the end of the presentation about what we're doing here. And so for those of you who don't know, naturopathic medicine is a 115-year-old profession. Naturopathic medicine started right alongside chiropractic medicine. As a matter of fact, there was a book brought out a couple of years ago by a chiropractor, Dr. Faulkner, who tells the story of Oakley Smith, who founded naturopathic medicine, and D.D. Palmer, the founder of chiropractic medicine. So Dr. Smith and Dr. Palmer were with each other at the turn of the century in Davenport, Iowa. They came together in about 1902 back in Davenport, and actually Dr. Still was there as well, who was the founder of osteopathic medicine. So really in Davenport, Iowa, back at the turn of the 20th century, manual medicine was established. Naturopathic medicine and chiropractic medicine are very, very similar in philosophy, and education is similar as well. What's different about naturopathic and chiropractic, and what broke Dr. Smith and Dr. Palmer apart, was the focus of the naturopathic treatment, or what Dr. Smith was trying to convince Dr. Palmer, that you really needed to address the connective tissue that pulls the bony structure out of alignment versus just looking at the vertebral alignment and doing that adjustment on the vertebrae without addressing the tissue that's pulling it out. So as a naturopath, okay, we focus on connective tissue. And obviously connective tissue is 3 things. It's ligaments which hold bone to bone, tendons which hold muscle to bone. But the most prevalent connective tissue is fascia. Fascia runs in between every layer of muscle. Fascia connects runs and covers every organ. It covers every bone. And in its natural state, it is viscous and gooey, okay? So when you're turning your head or when you're moving your shoulder, those muscles should glide over each other, okay? And I'm explaining this to you in detail because we believe that treating the soft and connective tissue is the missing link in manual therapy, okay? And it is the missing link in manual therapy because as you do adjustments, okay, if you're not taking in consideration the muscle locks, okay, or the patterns that Wilhelm Reich called body armoring that are there because of either stress or trauma in the body, you're not going to get that patient to fully rehabilitate or fully bring alignment, okay? So when I look at the body, my first, idea is, okay, I'm looking at the body, I'm seeing what's out of alignment, I'm seeing the way the body is holding each other, but I'm looking at the fascia and the connective tissue that is pulling that bony structure out of alignment. You know, the thing that makes napropaths different than all other manipulative therapists is really the charting of the spine, okay? And you could see right here, and this is a book that my partner, Dr. Lavista, and I put together a couple of years ago on the origins and the philosophy of naturopathic medicine. But this chartology here is the way we teach our students to identify where the bony structure is either, we call it anin or poin or sinin or dexin, to the left, to the right, anterior, posterior. And by taking those findings and seeing the way that bony structure lies, we can then design a treatment that focuses specifically on those bony malalignments. And we do that by addressing the tissue that pulls those bony malalignments out. This week or last week, we had a new group of interns start in the school. We had 6 interns come into the clinic. So during the first quarter of their internship, every intern marks every spine. So I get to walk in and look at the spinal markings. And when you look at the spinal markings of somebody laying down on the table, and you start to look at the patterns in the body, and the way I could just show these interns how the fascia is pulling the anins and poins and how it's making the maximum tension, it's a story that needs to be told. And, you know, Oakley Smith said one thing, and I'm going to read a quote. And this is in his book from 1917, and it's his book on naturopathic chartology. And this is chartology, the marking of the spine. And Oakley states in this book, "Naturopathy represents the world's first introduction to charted manipulative methods. Naturopaths, by charting their diagnosis and manipulation, place themselves in a class alone. The first attempt in the field of naturopathy to chart all manipulative procedure represents not only one of the beginning points of the science of naturopathy, but represents the very beginning point of scientific manipulative therapy. Scientists have always been prone to cast one side any modality that was not closely interlinked with evidence of scientific detail. Possibly it was for this reason that manipulation as a means of cure was passed over by science. If such reason is correct, the introduction of naturopathic chartology, with all its wealth of scientific possibilities, will furnish every person of science full expression for their greatest talents." That is just amazing, okay? And that falls right into line with what we're doing with Southwest University of Naturopathic Medicine. We are actually striving to become a research university, okay? We have put together a research team within our school that is going to help to get naturopathic papers researched and published. And in your curriculum, okay, and Maria, we could talk about this in a little bit, we are like if you were just going to come to the program, we've already had two chiropractors come through our program, but they had to come through for the full 3 years that we teach our regular students with. And we're getting calls from around the country from physical therapists, chiropractors, medical doctors who can't move to New Mexico. How do we put a program together? So we've designed this program for already licensed practitioners who have their practices and are working in their practices. And we have this program designed if we are able to take up to 50% of the credits that you already have taken in your previous education, whether it's chiropractic, physical therapy, medical, and we will take the other credits and teach them over 18 months with 4 intensive weekends here at the school in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And what we are doing for the internship and the hands-on portion is really going to be in your own clinics with self-evaluation and tying in the whole research aspect of how this soft tissue manipulation has enhanced the work that you already have done and the work that you're already doing. So it's an exciting opportunity to bring these healing arts together. And, you know, naturopathic medicine is connective tissue. We're trying to connect the healing arts together and understand that this is really the missing link. And we'd really like to share this with as many licensed practitioners as we can to spread this this healing art, to the United States. So I'm going to let Maria kind of talk a little bit about our program and how it's going to work, and then after that we're going to open it up to some questions. And I'm going to ask Dr. Travis Mason is on the webinar with us, and Dr. Mason is one of the 2 chiropractors that have come through the program. He actually just finished his education last month, and he's ready to present his research project and be done with us. So Maria, you want to give a little bit of a overview of this, and then Dr. Mason, if you could take a couple minutes and share how naturopathic treatments and the understanding of soft tissue has helped you in your practice.
Sure. So Dr. Nuzzo, I will go ahead and share about the transfer of credits, and we're going to try and patch Dr. Mason in through the phone. For some reason, it's not going to work through the webinar, so hopefully the sound will be okay. So if everybody just continues to bear with us, I'd appreciate it. So as an advanced medical degree doctor, we will transfer in 50% of your eligible credits. And with the transferring in of 50% of your credits, you're also eligible for a 50% cost reduction. So the full tuition for SUNM 190 credit hours is $55,150. Transferring in 50% of your credits would bring your total cost down to about $27,575. And again, it is eligible credits. Our program is an 18-month accelerated program that has been designed for advanced medical degrees. And through let's see here, let me go to this next slide. There'll be 4 hands-on intensive weekends. So the dates are as follows. They will be weekends, Friday through Sunday, May 7th through 9th, 2021, September 17th through 19th, 2021, January 28th through 30th, 2022, and June 11th through 13th, 2022. And all travel costs will be paid by the student, but that's 4 weekends that you will have to come into New Mexico and work hands-on with your instructors learning the naturopathic techniques.
So we are in New Mexico, licensed and regulated by the New Mexico Medical Board. So for those of you who would want to get licensed, who already have a license and want to carry a dual license, you will have to pass the National Board of Naturopathic Examiners exam in order to get licensed in New Mexico. For those of you who just want the education and want to put it, you could put the degree at the back of your name, a Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine as a secondary doctoral, and just want to practice under your license. There's no need to go through the National Board of Naturopathic Examiners. And if you do get a naturopathic license, the medical board here asks to pass a criminal background check prior to you being licensed. The National Board of Naturopathic Examiners is a separate organization outside of SUNM, and they would put the tests on, and there's a fee for those tests as well. So I'm wondering if, were we able to work it out with Dr. Mason?
Let's see, I have him on the phone here, so let's see if we can hear him through here. Dr. Mason, can you hear us? Let's see.
Doesn't sound like it.
There he is.
Let's see if we can hear him.
Yeah, there's an echo because of that. Yeah, there's an echo. That's not going to work, unfortunately. Well, guys, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to patch Dr. Mason in right now. Are we going to be able to get any questions from the participants? Is any
I think they can ask questions in the chat. I think that's the way we're going to be able to do it. So if anybody has questions, you can go ahead and ask in the chat.
So is there anybody there that wants to type in a question that we can answer?
Dr. Mason is also in the chat and he can answer questions.
No? Nothing coming up? Can we take longer than, Tom asked if he could take longer than 18 months. Tom, you could do the 3-year program too. You could do it within that 3 years, but it would be, we could still take credit hours. It would be less classes that you would have to take because we would transfer some credits into the way we did with Dr. Mason and Dr. Hightower. But we're trying to run this program through in 18 months. I hope that answers your question. And Chris just asked, we believe nephropathy will be licensed in more states. I do believe we're going to be licensed nephropathy in more states. We are right now in the very early stages of looking at both Florida and Nevada. We are getting, just this school established, and the school is starting to, pick up some more steam. And our goal is to be able to, and that's one of the reasons we put this type of a program together, because we want to go to Florida and we want to open a school there. Okay, we want to be licensed there. So our idea was to let's bring this program to Florida, and we can educate some Florida chiropractors and physical therapists and get them through the 18-month program. And because when we get licensed in a state, we're going to bring a school to the state. This way we'll have faculty there in order for us to, to staff our institution and teach the students. So anything else? All right. Okay. Is there anybody else before we say goodbye? And we could follow up with you with financial aid. Tom, we have a student payment plan here. We are in stages of getting financial aid, but not at this time. So we have a student payment plan, no interest, that we can go over with you in detail if you're interested, Tom. Any other questions? All right, Chris, I just saw your text. You're going to come here. I look forward to meeting you as well. You signed up for a treatment. Great. All right, so everybody, we did this. We were going to do it all here at the school today. Dr. Mason was going to be here. Something came up where he's not at this location. We're going to do a follow-up webinar on Wednesday evening, the 27th of January at 5:30 Mountain Time. And we'll send this information out to you, and we'll be in touch with everybody and see if there's any questions and see if there's any interest in joining us in March. So thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate it. And, Maria is here, or I'm here if you wanted to reach out and ask some questions, okay? Have a great Saturday, and we're gonna sign off now. Thank you.